What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing. Let's continue with the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series with a fighting cowboy, Jess Willard. Now, after Jack Johnson has been in hiding in Havana, Cuba for a few years for getting away from the United States for harassing him for a case that he was put on called the Mann Act, escorting white women across state lines, which one of them were his wife, they went over to Cuba and had a talk with Jack Johnson and told him, look, you want to come back to the United States? He said, yes, I do. They said, okay, we'll drop this charge against you, because he would have had to have faced 3 years after he came back to the United States. We have a new white hope coming up called Jess Willard. Jack Johnson asked him, well, what kind of fighter is he? Oh, he's just a big, strong guy, no technique. But it would be a good gate for us, and it would have pleased the white establishment back in the United States. Take him a few rounds and do what you need to do with him after that. Make it look convincing. Jess Willard, who didn't have the experience, he wasn't even in the top 10 at this time. Jack Johnson wanted to know, well, how many rounds are we going? And they told him, well, it has to be over 20 rounds for it to be a title shot for us. So don't worry about it. You're going to knock him out anyway. So Jess Willard was sent over to Havana, Cuba to face Jack Johnson. New York, Saturday, March 27th, 1915. The fight was scheduled for 45 rounds. And remember, Jack Johnson hadn't fought in a few years. He was completely out of shape, but an opportunity came that he couldn't refuse, and he still held the strap. And after 20-something rounds, Jack Johnson tried to open up on Jess Willard, and it got to a point where Jess Willard was really supposed to fall down before that, but he refused to go down. Jack Johnson got tired and just said the heck with it. And after a few punches that was thrown at Jack Johnson just went down. They counted him out. And in the paper the next day, Jess Willard was the heavyweight champion of the world. I couldn't make this stuff up if I tried. That's the reason why I show receipts. Unbelievable. Here's Jess Willard facing Frank Moran. March 25th, 1916. Let's take a look at Jess Willard's career. Jess Willard, born December 29th, 1881, Potawatomi County, weighed 250 pounds, 5'6¼ managed by Tom Jones. In 1911, February 15th, he fought Louis Fink in Oklahoma. He lost in a 10-round foul. March 7th, Ed Berkey, Reno, Oklahoma, 3-round knockout. March 28th, Louis Fink, Oklahoma City, 3-round knockout. April 14th, Al Mendindo, Oklahoma City, 4-round knockout. October 11th, Joe Cox, Springfield, Missouri, lost in 5 rounds. Willard claimed he was warned not to box and retire. 1912, May 23rd, John Young, Fort Worth, Indiana, 6-round knockout. July 29th, Arthur Perkley, New York, no decision, 10 rounds. Now let's pay attention to these no decisions for a moment. August 19th, Lewis McCarthy, New York, no decision, 10 rounds. December 2nd, Sailor White, Buffalo, New York, 1st-round knockout. December 27th, Soldier Kearns, New York, 8th-round knockout. 1913, knockout, May 20th, Gumbo Smith, San Francisco. He lost in 20 rounds. June 27th, Charlie Miller, San Francisco, 4-round draw. December 3rd, Carl Morris, New York, no decision. December 12th, George Davis, Buffalo, New York, knocked him out in 2 rounds. December 29th, George Rodell, New Haven, knocked him out in 9 rounds. Now we're going to get back to this, the point I'm trying to make in 1 second. 1915, April 5th, Jack Johnson, Havana, Cuba, knocked him out in 26 rounds and won the World Heavyweight Championship. The referee was Jack Welch, scheduled for 45 rounds. March 25th, 1916, Frank Moran, New York, no decision. August 8th, Soldier Kearns, Plattsburgh, 2-round exhibition title bout. 1918, July 4th, Jim Golden in Kansas, 10-round exhibition. July 18th, Tim Logan, Chester, Pennsylvania, 10-round exhibition. July 4th, 1919, Jack Dempsey, Toledo, Ohio. He was knocked out brutally. Perhaps one of the most devastating fights in heavyweight history. Most brutal fights. He was knocked out in 3 rounds. For the heavyweight championship of the world, Willard received $100,000, Dempsey $27,500. Now the point I was trying to make with these no decisions and some of these losses, the no decisions were fighters who had a certain manager that wasn't going to fall for this. You see, all these fighters were paid to be knocked out by Jess Willard, because I know their careers and I know the men they fought. But the ones who have no decisions, they wasn't going for it. They wasn't having it. It's just amazing. Arthur Perkley wasn't having that. Luther McCarthy, he wasn't having that. Gumbo Smith, 20-round loss. He wasn't having that. Carl Morris, he wasn't going for that either. I mean, it's just something to think about. 1923, May 2nd, Floyd Johnson, New York, KO'd in 11. July 12th, Louis Angel Firpo, Jersey City. He was knocked out himself within 8 rounds. 1926, Jimmy O'Gatti, New York, 3-round exhibition. So you can see Jess Willard's record. Let's take a look at his earning with Jack Dempsey. July 4th, 1919, Bayview Park Arena, Toledo, Ohio, on shores of Maumee Bay. The distance was 12 rounds. That was the scheduled distance. The bout ended in a 3rd round KO. Willard didn't call the halt, his corner did, but a halt was called in Willard's corner during the intermission between the 3rd round and the 4th round. Official attendance, 19,650 people. Official receipts, check this out, $452,224. The government taxes was $67,000, 680. The net was $384,544. Wow. Charity, 7% of the net in the city of Toledo. $28,751.21. Gross receipts, $325,000. This is back in 1919. So they made an $85,732.16 profit. Tex Riggert was the promoter. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Dempsey's seconds were Jack Kearns, who was his manager, Bill Tate, African-American heavyweight who never got a title shot, Joe Chip, he was the brother of a middleweight champion. Amazing. Well, this is the career of Jess Willard. Unbelievable. Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Now let's continue with Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler. Known as the Manasseh Mauler, born June 24th, 1895, Manassas, Colorado. He was the title